Got it. And you brought up this disposal kind of thing. Just curious how you handle this. We did a family vacation in my parents, my sister's family, my family in San Diego. Rented a Airbnb, and we went to play a movie, and the DVD didn't work. Not a big deal. We're like, yeah, we'll just watch TV. But my sister just called and says, hey, is there another DVD player by chance in the house? Because this one's not working. I'm not kidding. Within 5 minutes, they were at our door with a new DVD player going, here, we'll set this up for you. I was like, what the heck? I mean, it's not that big of a deal. Garbage disposal breaks down or something like that. I mean, are you like on top of that?
Yeah, you never know because like you develop, it's interesting is that even with a couple of emails or texts, you kind of get a sense of who the guest is and what their kind of personality and other kinds of things are, what they're asking you for, and some other kinds of stuff. And so I've had, it depends, I guess is the best way.
Sure.
Like, often when you go in and there's 3 remotes, because in this location you've got you've got Xfinity for your cable, and then there's a TV thing, and you can run Netflix because there's some confusion, and so in general, it's not really a big problem, and people are kind of very understanding, and additionally, there is an expectation on my part that if somebody's paying me. In some cases, it's a significant amount. Sundance. This property rents for, say, $750 a night, which is not insignificant that way. So, so we provide cable and do all of these things. It's not just a box to stay in that way. And I think if you treat people that way, as though they're actually kind of a guest and you're going to kind of take care of them, then they're not as concerned. So I've had lots of situations where something has not worked quite right. Mm-hmm. The disposal was one that happened fairly recently, and it didn't work. I think the previous guest had clogged it up or something like that, and this guest, like, I didn't even know about it for 2 guests.
Oh, wow!
Because nobody
used it, probably.
Well, they were using it because it was in the sink.
Sure.
But they were so happy with the rest of the experience that they're just, hey, just so you know, the disposal doesn't seem to be working. Does that make sense? Yep. And there are other situations where somebody will call up and want you to come up and clean the disposal at 2:00 in the morning.
Right.
It just depends. And so if you're going to get into that business, it's a hospitality kind of business. It is not the same way where you're just vetting somebody for a long-term stay, checking their credit rating, and then
Yeah. So that's super important because, that's something to think about. Going back to the top 3 questions someone should think about. I actually had a friend who had a duplex in the Sugar House area. And he lived actually in one of the units, rented out the other side. And they got a lot of traffic due to conventions downtown. And for those of you that know Salt Lake County, Sugar House is a very hot, desirable, fun city. Lots of restaurants, lots of entertainment, close to downtown. So he stayed occupied fairly well throughout the year just due to all the conventions that are happening downtown. But there was so much extra work involved. He had it actually once as a traditional long-term rental, made more money on the nightly rental, but because he was constantly, fixing I don't know what he was fixing, but, for instance, the garbage disposal or the broken DVD or whatever, he ended up going back to the nightly rental and making less money just because it was easier.
Well, there's opportunity costs. You're going to be doing some things that you normally
Exactly.
So the reason this works pretty well in Park City is that it's set up. There's already cleaning services and stuff to do that. There's already snow removal services that kind of do that kind of stuff. If you're not in a place that has those types of services that you can kind of take advantage of, either you're going to be doing it or it's going to be a problem in some way.
Yeah, very cool. All right, we're going to take another commercial break here, but when we come back, we're going to talk about the step-by-step on how to get started on Airbnb. And actually, I'm going to ask you when we get back. You keep saying Airbnb. I'm just curious, and when you can answer this when we come back. If you also do VRBO, so we'll talk about that, the difference between the two, if you even know the difference between the two. I'm not sure if you use the other platform. So, on that note, we will head over to commercial break. Hi, I'm Yoshi Shiraki, the author of the book, My Body's Just For Me, the book written for children to educate children on the prevention of child abuse. With the assistance of multiple best-selling author Richard Paul Evans, we are able to establish and publish this book as a tool to help break the ice in an easy and innocent way to help children understand and learn how to speak up and communicate. I have been invited numerous times on the Good Things Utah to discuss the importance of good communication with your child in regards to abuse, and also to discuss how the book, My Body's Just For Me, is a great tool for every parent when having that tricky conversation with their children. For more information on the book, My Body's Just For Me, please visit www.protectourangels.com today. And remember, the more we focus on prevention, the less we'll have to focus on rehabilitation.